Hi guys, welcome to another class. So as you can see, we're in an absolutely stunning location today. We are down at Blowering Dam, so in New South Wales, and it is just absolutely beautiful here. There's not a whole lot going on, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me to just film a bunch of classes for you guys. And it's always nicer in a beautiful location. So let's get into it today. Today's flow is going to be a beginner's focused flow. So we'll be moving through some poses that you might see in, like, common poses that you'll see in a lot of yoga classes that you'll do, and we'll really focus much more on alignment rather than, say, moving through the flow at a faster pace. So just going over the basics and really nailing those, so you feel confident going into more advanced flows and just a more advanced practice. The best thing is that even if you are an advanced yogi, it's always good to come back to a beginner's class and just tidy up those things that maybe you've lost throughout your practice. And just remembering as well that no practice is perfect. It's always great to come back to a beginner's practice and just check in with our alignment, but also make sure that we are listening to our body. As I say in every practice, that comes first. So regardless of what the alignment is, if it doesn't feel right on your body or it doesn't feel good for you, that is the most important thing, as always. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start just in a seated position at the back of our mat. So sitting up nice and tall, taking your hands open on your knees, and just take a moment to take a few deep breaths in, maybe closing down your eyes. Roll your shoulders back. See if you can stack your spine all the way from your tailbone, your sit bones, and feel that lengthening with every inhale. Allow your palms to rest open on your knees. And just take a moment here to take a deep breath in, and out of your mouth, a big exhale, release. Just release anything that at this moment or throughout your practice is no longer serving you. Take a moment to release any distractions before we move into our practice, or anything that's just been weighing on your mind. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. You might like to set an intention for your practice, especially with it being a beginner focused class. Just allowing yourself to be fully present in the class today, and really just soaking up every little bit we go through in each position. Nice and slowly lifting your shoulders up to your ears on your next inhale and setting them down your back. Take a deep breath in, reaching your arms up to the ceiling. Pull your shoulders back and down. And as we exhale, we're going to gently fold over our legs and find that forward fold. You might want to loosen the cross of your legs or shuffle your bum back a little bit. And just allow your head and neck to be heavy here. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And then slowly rising back up. Good. Let's take our hands plant behind. Cross your legs over the opposite way. And again, you might just like to leave it as a loose cross. Take a deep breath in, reaching up tall, lengthen out of the spine, shoulders back and down. And as you exhale, folding forward, shift your hips back and reach to the front of the mat. And then allow yourself to soften and release down. Take a deep breath in, a full exhale, and then slowly coming back up to center. Good. Again, stacking our spine nice and tall. Deep breath in, reaching up. And as we exhale, we're going to take our right hand to our left knee. Left hand comes behind, right behind our sit bones. Take a deep breath in as we extend out of our hips, lengthening through the top of our head, like someone's pulling us with a string. And as you exhale, twist to look over that left shoulder. You want to use that left leg that we're Got our right arm resting on just as a bit of leverage, but we're not yanking our body into it. We really want to practice moving with our body. Especially it can be hard as a beginner in yoga if you've done, say, other training before or other sports or stuff like that, where the idea is to push against your body and push against what your body's telling you and go harder and go faster. It can be really difficult coming to yoga and trying to rewire your brain and do the opposite of that. So on your next exhale, release. Take a deep breath in, reaching up tall, lengthen out of your fingertips, out of the top of your head. And exhale, take it the opposite way. Left hand to right knee. Right hand plants behind. Inhale, lengthen out of the hips, out of the spine, the top of the head. And exhale, twist to look over that right shoulder. Again, we're using that leg as leverage, but we're not yanking into it. Good, focusing on that lengthening breath to grow taller or longer in each position, and that exhale breath to relax and deepen in each position. You can hold on to that throughout your whole practice. That idea of on the inhale we grow long, tall, depending what position we're in, and on that exhale we relax, we deepen. Nice and slowly coming back to center. Let's take one more deep breath in, reaching as tall as we can. And as we exhale, we're going to spin our palms to face the opposite way and take a deep breath out, pressing your palms away, just like you're clearing your space for your practice. Nice and slowly, we're going to come onto all fours and find our tabletop position. So in our tabletop, we want to make sure our hands are planted directly under our elbows and shoulders. Everything's stacked. Our knees are under our hips. And my core is switched on, so my belly button is pulling in towards my spine. Taking a moment here, feel that engagement, pressing into all fours. And then let's slowly move through our cat-cow. So thinking about cat-cow as a bit of a Mexican wave starting from our tailbone to the top of our head. As we inhale, we're gently going to lift our tailbone and then let our belly drop, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling our shoulders back, chest drops to the ground, towards the ground, and our head and neck lifts towards the sky. As we exhale, we're going to do the opposite. So again, starting at our tailbone, we slowly tuck. We're pressing into all fours, creating that roundness through our lower back, middle back, upper back, and dropping our head and neck. Good. Let's take 2 more rounds, keeping it nice and slow. And we want to try and connect that breath with our movement. So making that inhale movement last as long as the inhale breath. And as we start to exhale and round, we want to lengthen the breath and the movement to match. So the movement doesn't finish before the breath, and the breath doesn't finish before the movement. Let's just take one more here. Deep inhale as we look up to the sky, lift the tailbone. Deep exhale as we fully round, pressing into all fours. When you're ready, coming back to that tabletop position. As we inhale, we're going to extend our left leg back, pressing it flat against the back of the room, and reach our right arm out in front. Holding here, and what we don't want to see is that we're overextending. Our leg is directly behind our hip, and our arm reaches directly out from our shoulder. Notice if you're twisting to one way, and we're just finding our body in the space in today's practice. Good, holding for one more breath here, and exhale, release to the mat. Take that same right arm, reach it up to the ceiling, deep breath in, lengthen. Let your gaze follow that top hand. Notice if you start to shift your hips or shift your weight into your left knee, try and keep that nice and even, and then exhale, release. Let's take the same on the opposite side, so find even weight through both hands, both knees, and then on your next inhale, extend through that left arm, extend through the right leg, pressing that foot flat, like we're pushing it into the wall behind us. And again, we're not overextending. It's directly out from our hip, out from our shoulder, and then check in with your hips. Are they square with the mat? Are our shoulders square with the mat? Take one more inhale, lengthening like you're reaching in opposite directions. And exhale, release to all fours. Inhale, let's sweep that left arm up to the ceiling. Reach that left arm up nice and tall. Let your gaze follow. And then exhale, plant it back to the ground. Spreading through all 10 fingers, tuck our toes, and let's press back to our downward dog. Good. So when you come into your downward dog, doesn't matter if your heels hit the floor, mine very rarely do. So just take a moment to just warm yourself up into that position. We're always staying active through our shoulders, through our hands. We want to make sure we're pressing into all parts of our hands. And then start to let your heels sink towards the ground. Let your chest sink between your shoulders and lifting your bum high like you're reaching to the sky with your tailbone. Good. Take one more breath here. And a full exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to roll forward into our plank position. Tuck your elbows and as slow as you can, gently release your body to the mat. Untuck the toes, pressing into the hands gently, and we're using our back muscles and our glutes to lift into that baby cobra. As you exhale, send your hips back, take your knees slightly wider, and we're going to sit back into our child's pose. You're just allowing your forehead to rest to the ground, maybe shifting side to side in that child's pose with your head, giving yourself a little massage. My fingertips keep reaching to the front of the room, and my hips sit back on that exhale so I feel that nice lengthening through the spine. Take one more inhale here, and a full exhale. On your next inhale, rising up back to all fours, tuck your toes and step it back into your downward dog. Send your hips back. One by one, we're slowly going to walk our feet to meet our hands at the front of the mat. Good. Find your feet under your hips and just grabbing onto opposite elbows, let yourself dangle side to side. Allow your head and neck to release and relax, and not worrying about what you look like in each position. I'm a yoga instructor and I can assure you my forward folds do not look like anything special. My training is a lot on my hamstrings and all the things, so I will never be this flexible little thing. But the main thing is that we show up, we get on our mat, and we do our practice. Even more so for our mind than our body a lot of the times. On your next exhale, we're going to release your hands to the mat and inhale into your half lift. So we're extending out of our hips, again lengthening forward through the top of our head like someone's got a string. And then exhale, release back to your forward fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, and let's step our left foot back. We're going to come into our runner's lunge. So making sure we've got a 90-degree at that front knee. We're not collapsing onto the front leg. We're staying strong through our back, through our core. My shoulders roll back. Good. On your next inhale, sweep your arms and we reach up tall. You can keep a slight bend in that back knee if that feels more comfy for you. What we don't want to see is this big rounding through our back. We want to keep our core switched on. Keep our fingertips lengthening towards the ceiling and our shoulders pulled back and down at the same time. So we're really tucking our tailbone and staying stacked over our body. On your next inhale, lengthen through that front leg. And as we exhale, hands plant down, find the mat, and maybe you step the back foot forward, coming into your fold. Good. Pull that right hip back. Taking a few breaths here. Again, let your body release in that fold. Oh, I've got a little ladybug that's come to visit on our mat. I feel like that's a good sign. When you're ready, bend back into the front knee. We're going to come back up into that lunge. Deep breath in, reaching up tall. Good. We're slowly going to plant our back foot slightly. And we're coming into our warrior one. So with our back foot in our warrior one, they don't have to be on a tightrope necessarily. They can be on two separate train tracks, if we imagine that. My back heel is planted, so my toes are turned out just slightly. And again, I'm sitting into my hips, lengthening out from there. Good. Take a deep breath in, hold for a moment here. Check in with your alignment. How does it feel into your hips? Maybe we sink a little deeper into that right knee. On our next inhale, we're going to open into our warrior two. So I'm spinning here, opening through my chest, reaching my arms nice and long in opposite directions. So now when I look at my feet, I've spun my left foot open, or my back foot. That left edge of my back foot is along the along the back edge of the mat. And I'm looking out over my front fingertips. My front knee is pointing out towards my pinky toe, and I'm sitting deep into this position here. Looking over my front fingertips, I'm lengthening along that horizon in opposite directions. Notice if when you focus here, that this arm starts to become a bit lazy and floppy. We want to keep that nice and strong. Our warrior poses make us feel nice and strong, empowered. So we want to act that way when we're in these positions. On your next inhale, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior, take it back. Deep breath in as we lengthen through that right side. And exhale, let's windmill our hands back down to the mat. Stepping all the way forward into our forward fold. Take a deep breath in, reaching up nice and tall, lengthening here. And we're going to take our right leg up with us. So coming into our stalk position. As we exhale, we're going to kick it back, finding our warrior three now. So moving through all our warriors, stay nice and strong through that standing leg. This is probably the most difficult position we're going to come into today. So remember, if you feel like you fall out of your balance, that is so fine. It's just yoga. It's not that deep. Send that right foot back, just like we did when we were on all fours. We're pressing that foot back, reaching through our hands. And on your next inhale, find your way back up into your stalk, and exhale, release. Good. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, reaching up tall. As we exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale into a half lift, coming onto your fingertips, extending through your head and neck. As we exhale, release down. Plant your hands. Let's take the same on the opposite side. Step that right foot back, coming into our lunge on the left side. On your next inhale, we're going to sweep the mat, rising up tall, coming in to our high lunge, shoulders back and down. Good. Keep your core switched on, tailbone tucked. And can we sink a little deeper into that knee? And make sure that front knee is at as much of a 90 degree as we can get it. And we're stacked over our hips. Good. On your next inhale, let's lengthen through that front leg. Exhale, we'll fold, find the mat, and step that back foot in until it's planted, both toes pointing to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, release here. Take a moment to check in with the alignment of our hips. We want our hips nice and square with the front of the mat. So you might want to pull that left hip back, pull the right hip forward. And just allow yourself to release here, bend as much as you need into that front leg. Remember, in every pose, no matter how we think it should look, the most important thing is that we're moving with how it feels good for our body. When you're ready, bend back into that front knee, maybe slide that right foot back a little bit, and inhale, rising tall. Good. Let's find our way into our warrior one. So we're going to turn our right foot out just slightly so that that heel can plant. And then when we do that, we're probably opening through our hips. So let's spin our hips back to the front of the mat. We want our left knee to be directing towards that pinky toe. Good. See if you can tuck your tailbone as you press your heel into the mat. Shoulders back and down. Sink a little deeper. Take a full inhale here. And as we exhale, we're opening into our warrior two. So spin that back foot open. So the outside edge of that right foot is along the edge of the back of the mat. Our arms are nice and strong, reaching in opposite directions. My left knee is pressing out towards my pinky toes. Take a moment here. Feel that strength, that lengthening through your warrior. Check in with the back arm, it's nice and active. And when you're ready, flip the front palm and inhale as we reach back. Find that length. And exhale, let's frame the front foot, stepping it back into our forward fold. Good. When you're ready, take a deep breath, reach up tall, and let's bring our left leg with us this time. Coming into our stalk position, shoulders back and down. Go to 90 degrees at that front leg. We're spreading our right toes, giving ourselves as much surface area, as much balance as we can, lengthening. And as we exhale, we're going to send that left foot back, like we're pressing it to the back of the room, like we did on all fours at the start of the class. Keep your core engaged, reaching through your arms. Remember, you can bring your arms out to the side or to your hips as well. Keep that nice long position for 3, 2, and inhale, sweep it back through. Again, if you fell out of your pose, it's just yoga. It doesn't really matter that much. As you exhale, release, find your forward fold. Good. Take a moment to just grab onto opposite elbows, dangle side to side, release, relax. Give your head and neck a shake out. Good. And when you're ready, we're going to release our hands back down to the mat. And we're just going to shuffle our feet to the edges of the mat now. As you exhale, we're going to sink our bottom down, coming into our squat. From here, we're going to plant our hands to our heart and lift out of our chest, out of our hips. Again, you can see that common theme where in every position we're trying to find that length, like we're being pulled up to the sky through a string. We don't want to allow our body to collapse here. We want to be strong and active in those positions. And the longer we are, the stronger we are, the more we feel like that breath just moves so easily from our nose, our mouth, all the way down our body. Good. Holding for a few more breaths here. And you might just like to shift side to side. Try and find that even weight throughout your feet. And then when you're ready, we're going to take our hands back behind and release our bottom to the mat. Plant your hands, and we're going to keep our feet at the edges of the mat and just windscreen wipe them side to side. Just relax through your hips. And then planting your hands so they're facing directly out from your knees. Sorry, planting your feet so they're facing directly out from your knees. We're slowly just going to roll our spine to the ground. Keep your hands planted by your sides. You might want to shuffle your heels back in towards you till you can brush them with the edges of your fingertips. We're just going to come into a few spinal rolls into our bridge position. So making sure we're not splaying our feet out, they're directly out from our knees. Our knees are directly out from our hips. Hands are fully planted into the ground. And similar to what we did with our cat-cow, we're going to go vertebrae by vertebrae. As we inhale, we're tucking the tailbone, lifting the lower back, middle back, and upper back off the ground. Finding that tall position. Hold for a moment. And as we exhale, we release our upper back, middle back, lower back, and tailbone untucks. Good. Let's move through that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting. Remember, we're using the entire breath for the entire movement, pressing through our feet. And exhale back down. Let's take one more. This time we're going to hold at the top. Deep breath in, lift the tailbone, tucking it under, middle back, upper back. And we're going to press through our hands, through our feet. Good. Create that strong position here. Notice if your knees start to splay out at the top. Think like you've got a block or a book or something between your legs, and we're squeezing that here. There should be an even gap between your feet, your knees. And on your last exhale, gently releasing vertebrae by vertebrae, everything back down to the mat. Take a moment to give yourself a nice big hug. Hug your knees into your chest. Just release the lower back. I'm going to take our arms out wide. And just again, windscreen wipe your knees side to side. Looking to your left as you spin your knees to the right. Bringing them back through center. And looking to the right as you spin your knees to the left. I'm going to take a little pause on one side and then the other. Otherwise, just moving side to side, whatever feels good. When you're ready, coming back to center, let your knees draw open, and we're going to reach up for the edges of our feet. Coming into our happy baby, pull your knees down to the sides of your body and just gently rock side to side. Taking a moment to just let your tailbone settle to the ground. And when you're ready, releasing everything, take a nice long, full body stretch. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, adjust your body to find a comfy position. Allow your feet to splay out. Your glutes to completely release and relax. Your arms to fall by your side, palms open to receive. Allow your face to completely relax. And just notice how you feel post-practice. Sometimes in these beginner classes, because we're focused so much on our alignment, feels like there's a lot to think about. So just allowing that to now be released from your mind. Allow yourself to just be fully present here, no matter what is going on in your space. If there's kids running around, if there's someone doing something in the next room, or maybe right by your side, if there's an animal or a dog trying to snuggle up to you on your mat, just let it be. So taking a few deep breaths here, just allowing yourself to fully soak up the practice. So as I always say, sometimes the best part of your practice, and often when you speak to more advanced yogis, their favorite part of the practice quickly becomes the Shavasana, where they can just lie down, soak up their practice, and often all the insights, the beautiful things that you come to for yoga, the light bulb moments, they often happen in our Shavasana, those big releases. So just taking your time in your Shavasana, whether it's 10 minutes, 2 minutes, half an hour if you have it, lucky you. Just take the time there to allow yourself to soak up the mat and the practice fully. Let your body completely release. And thank you guys so much for joining me for today's practice. If you're a beginner yogi, I would love to hear how you found this practice and any of the cues that maybe really helped you today. So as always, like, subscribe, and if you have anything that you want to see, just comment below, or any feedback, or if you've done the class, I love to hear about it. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you for the next practice. Hopefully we are still here and we're filming in this beautiful location. I feel like even I had such a beautiful practice teaching you guys here. So thank you guys so much for showing up, and as always, have a beautiful day. Namaste.